What if the daily chase for updates, handoffs, and status reports became a measurable, automated workflow? In this module, we'll see how Regrello AI turns coordination friction into visibility, efficiency, and operational impact. We've already established what Regrello AI is, a way to support workflows, automation, and process intelligence. Now we'll connect that foundation to business impact, including cost savings, speed, fewer errors, and stronger cross-functional execution, before moving into core terminology. At small scale, coordination can survive through emails, spreadsheets, chats, and meetings. But as workflows stretch across teams, those same habits create friction. Every approval, handoff, and dependency becomes another place where status can drift or ownership can blur. People spend more time checking what happened than moving work forward. The challenge grows with recurring processes, exceptions, and tight deadlines because manual tracking cannot keep pace. Scaling operations requires a shared, reliable way to see progress, decisions, and accountability. Once a process becomes complex, progress can depend on someone remembering every update, follow-up, and escalation. That creates delays, missed handoffs, and hidden effort. AI-assisted orchestration changes the operating model. When tasks, owners, due dates, and dependencies are structured, the system has context. It can trigger reminders, recommend next steps, surface risks, and help teams act earlier. The value is not just automation. It is turning coordination from an ad hoc human burden into a systematic, proactive workflow. That hidden coordination burden is often the tax on cross-functional work. Teams spend time sending reminders, asking for updates, clarifying ownership, and rebuilding current status from scattered messages. Regrello AI reduces that drag by making coordination part of the workflow itself. Reminders happen automatically. Tasks have clear owners. Summaries show what changed and what still needs attention. The result is more than fewer emails or meetings. Team energy shifts from chasing activity to making decisions, resolving exceptions, and executing the work. Automation helps prevent work from stalling between handoffs. When a task is assigned, the system can monitor due dates, dependencies, and status changes. As deadlines approach, it sends reminders before the issue becomes urgent. If work becomes overdue, blocked, or dependent on someone's input, follow-ups can trigger automatically. Once a task is completed, the next step can open without manual coordination. AI adds another layer by summarizing what needs attention, so teams can focus on decisions and action, instead of checking every task one by one. Consider a supplier onboarding process. Without a shared system, teams spend meetings answering basic questions: who has responded, which approval is late, and where the latest spreadsheet lives. Regrello AI changes that pattern by keeping workflow status current and visible. Automated updates keep owners informed, while AI summaries call out delays, new changes, and urgent actions. Status meetings become shorter and more useful. Instead of reconstructing the facts, managers use the time to make decisions, remove blockers, and move the process forward. When workflow information lives across email threads, spreadsheets, chat messages, and individual task lists, no one has a dependable picture of the process. Centralizing that data changes how teams operate. Tasks, owners, due dates, approvals, dependencies, comments, and exceptions feed into one workflow data layer. That creates a shared source of truth for what is on track, pending, blocked, or overdue. Once the data is structured, teams can generate dashboards, alerts, summaries, KPI reports, and AI insights from the same reliable foundation. Visibility is useful when it answers three questions: where is the work, who owns it, and what happens next? Status alone is not enough. A task marked in progress can still create risk if the owner, deadline, dependency, or escalation path is unclear. When those details are visible, teams avoid duplicate effort. Stakeholders can judge whether timelines are healthy, and workflow owners can step in before small delays become larger blockers. The goal is not surveillance. It is shared clarity, so everyone can see responsibility, progress, and risk early enough to act. Bottlenecks often begin as small repeats: the same approval waiting too long, the same clarification requested again, or the same handoff slowing work down. Regrello AI looks across workflow activity to spot those patterns early. It can also flag exceptions, such as missing information, blocked steps, or cases following a non-standard path. The goal is not to automate every judgment. It is to direct attention to the places most likely to create delay. When teams see these signals sooner, they can intervene before commitments slip. AI becomes most valuable when it turns workflow activity into decisions people can act on. Instead of asking managers to inspect every record, the system can summarize workflow health, flag overdue approvals, detect missing supplier documents, and highlight recent changes. Over time, it can also reveal patterns, such as repeated delays in a specific step or unclear ownership between teams. The value is focus. Managers can quickly decide what needs attention, what can wait, and where the process may need improvement. The recommendation supports the decision, but accountability stays with people. Operational KPIs turn workflow improvement from a feeling into evidence. If a process is better, we should see it in measures like shorter cycle time, higher task completion, faster approvals, fewer exceptions, and stronger compliance. The key is connecting each metric to a business outcome. Cycle time speaks to speed. Exception rate speaks to quality and reliability. Compliance supports accountability. Once these numbers are tracked consistently, teams can spot bottlenecks, test changes, and see whether the process is actually improving over time. Cycle time shows how long work takes from the moment it enters a process until it is completed. Shorter cycle time usually means fewer delays, handoffs, or rework. Task completion rate shows how reliably assigned work gets finished within the expected period. Together, these KPIs measure both speed and throughput. Automation should reduce waiting time, remove manual bottlenecks, and help more tasks reach completion on schedule. The key is comparison. Measure the baseline before automation, then measure again after rollout. If cycle time drops and completion rate rises, the process is not just faster, it is more dependable. Speed is only part of the picture. Approval turnaround shows where decisions get stuck. Exception rate reveals how often work needs special handling. Process compliance confirms that required steps and documentation are complete. Together, these KPIs protect quality, governance, and risk while teams improve workflow efficiency. To wrap up, Regrello AI creates value by reducing coordination, improving visibility, and measuring performance. Automation handles reminders, follow-ups, summaries, and task movement. Centralized workflow data shows progress, ownership, bottlenecks, and exceptions. KPIs translate that work into measurable impact. Next, we'll build the vocabulary for workflows, tasks, automations, insights, and governance.